Hi, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever and wherever you're joining us from. Welcome to another episode of the Coach's Corner. Yay! Thank you guys so much for all the input that and feedback that you've been providing in regard to the Coach's Corner. So just to jump right in, I want to go ahead and for those of you who are new to the Coach's Corner, I want to give you an overview of what we do. So today we're going to be joined by Mel. Mel's an awesome member of our team over at IrisVision. Hey, Mel.
Hi, Myrna. How's it going?
Good, good. A beautiful morning here in Arizona. How's the weather over there in Cali? You're
Doing
in Cali, right?
good. Yeah, California is doing pretty good. It's a sunny day. I'm excited to kind of read the questions that our audience members have, sent in to us and then for you to answer them. I think it's going to be a good session.
Yeah, I kind of have an idea of some of the questions. One was kind of asking about Coach's Corner, right?
Yes. So I think one of the first questions that we got in was when did you create Coaches Corners and kind of what was the reasoning behind it?
Okay, so great question. Coach's Corner started in November of 2020. So the reason we started it is because we knew that sometimes people had questions, or maybe people just wanted to know a little bit more about IrisVision, or how IrisVision can be used. So it's really more of like an informative type, session here. We're not really going into full-blown coaching sessions because that's something that we do aside remotely, one-on-one individually. So the Coach's Corner, these episodes, again, are more for like user stories. How are people using the device? What are they doing with it? What have they accomplished with it? Things like that. We do provide a pro tip almost every Coach's Corner, not every single one. And that's just kind of to give those who are users an idea of how to troubleshoot the device on their own. We've also had other representatives from the company be on some of these episodes. Like, for example, we had our awesome CEO, Ahmad Khan, do one of the Coaches Corners at the beginning of the year. So if you're interested in watching that one, you can go ahead and look at the history here on our Facebook page and find all of the Coaches Corners episodes. And you'll find Ahmad there. You'll find our awesome VP of Consumer and Public Outreach, Tom Persky, who is also a user of the device and has Stargardt's disease. We had a really cool interview with him as well. We had an awesome client spotlight with one of our awesome users, Heidi Tran. Shout out to Heidi. And of course, Sam Seavey. So it's kind of a variety of different things when we do the Coach's Corner. So please, if you have any feedback, if you have any ideas of what you want me or me and Coach Michael or any of the other coaches to cover, please put it in the chat and let us know, or put it in the comments below and let us know what you want to hear. Okay, let us know what maybe you have questions about. So that's pretty much what the Coach's Corner is and when it started.
Awesome. Very cool. And I know Coach's Corner has been a hit ever since we started. So again, like Myrna says, it's kind of almost like a behind the scenes look at what's going on at IrisVision, and then at the same time highlighting different people and their success stories. So that's awesome. Props to Myrna for her great idea.
Thank you.
So
Props
another,
to my team too. Props to the other coaches
of
because
course,
they are
yeah.
awesome and they have also joined us on the Coaches Corner a couple of times. So stay tuned. For some of you out there, you probably know Coach Chelsea. She'll be on one of our upcoming episodes soon.
Love it. Awesome. I have another question for you, Myrna. So somebody is asking, how do the coaching sessions work? Can you give us a brief outline of that?
Sure, and that's perfect. Perfect a follow-up question there. So the coaching sessions are provided for everyone who purchases a device directly from IrisVision. So if you are a purchaser of the device directly from IrisVision, you will get 3 coaching sessions with one of our awesome coaches or myself. And we just kind of do an overview of how the device works. We don't do it all at once. We do it little by little. So we have some default modes, as we call them, and we start there. We give people an overview of the device, how it works, how the different buttons function, and how some of those software lenses work. And as we proceed to the second session about a week later, because we encourage practice, we always say practice, practice, practice. The second session will consist of additional modes like our task modes, our magnifier software lenses. So for those of you who are familiar, the bubble mode, the bioptic mode, the reading line mode, and a few different contrasted reading modes as well. Then the third session is going to consist of our media kind of modes. So those software lenses are the optical character recognition, so Iris Reader, a photo gallery, and our YouTube RAN mode. So it's not actually connected to YouTube. This is something that people always ask, can I connect my YouTube account? No, it's not connected directly to your account. It's connected through like a third party. So we still access all of YouTube's videos, and you can totally look for almost anything, pretty much anything that you can think of that's on YouTube. I've had people look for all kinds of different things, including prunes. So that was a little interesting, but it was good. So those are what the coaching sessions consist of. They're broken up into 3 different sessions in order to make them as comprehensible and easy to follow as possible. And of course, we'll always go at each individual's pace. So if maybe the first session is just a bit much and they want to wait a little bit, that's totally fine. So it's still kind of completely customizable according to what your needs are.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Myrna. So on the same topic of IrisVision itself, we have another question asking, do we need Wi-Fi to use the IrisVision?
Oh, perfect question. So yes, if you're going to want to use that YouTube feature I was just talking about, then yes, Wi-Fi is required. But it's not necessarily required for the other modes, but we definitely encourage and recommend that you do have your unit connected to Wi-Fi. Because if you need remote assistance from our awesome customer support team, shout out to the customer support team, woo! So they will be able to log onto your device much easier if it's connected to Wi-Fi. So again, not necessarily needed, but highly recommended.
Wonderful. So we're kind of going lightning round over here with the questions, but I have another one, and I think this is some of the most, or one of the most common questions that you might get just from speaking with you in different conversations. But somebody's asking, I'm a user of IrisVision. Sometimes it won't advance to the next mode. Why is that?
Okay, so that is usually because the device is not inserted into the headset properly. Like 95% of the time, that's what it is. So it's really simple. When you have your device and say it's out of the headset, you definitely want to make sure that you plug it in properly. So most of the time you'll hear it say device inserted correctly. If you don't hear it say device inserted correctly, it may not be plugged in all the way. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's not, but it's likely that it's not. So this is the way I do it. I keep that hinge with the yellow dot folded down, and I simply slide the phone into place like this. And
device inserted correctly. Focus.
There it is, device inserted correctly. So a lot of the time people have some questions about these hinges and how they work. So this solid black hinge should always be open so that you could easily plug the phone into the headset. So I'll demonstrate that one more time. So it said device removed. Now we're gonna plug it in.
Device inserted correctly.
There it is.
Focus.
And then I usually just snap it into place that easily. So that's how it works. Now, if it's not plugged in properly, so I'm gonna kind of push it out of place, it's not gonna function. So
device removed.
it looks like it's plugged in properly, right? It's in there, looks secure, but when I go to press a button, it's not working, right? So if you simply squeeze the hinges together, let's see, like this.
Device inserted correctly.
If you
Focus.
squeeze those two hinges towards each other when the device is in there, it will usually plug in properly. So now it's in there properly.
C.
And now I can advance.
C with bubble. RP.
And that's how it works. Now, if you don't hear the voice saying device inserted correctly, you can still figure out if it's plugged in properly, because when you touch this touchpad here, you're going to see
Device removed.
all these different banners on the screen. I don't know if some of you can see it or not, but there's the informational stuff across the top and at the bottom. When you touch your touchpad and you see that reaction on the screen, then that means your device is properly plugged in. So I hope that answers your question. There's a little mini pro tip right
Device
there.
inserted correctly. RP.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Myrna. I think this was a very helpful session. Again, if anyone has any questions, always feel free to comment underneath the Facebook post, send us an email, and we would love to cater the Coach's Corner episodes towards answering those questions. So thank you so much, Myrna, and I think we're all set.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you at the next Coach's Corner. This was a short and sweet one. See you next time.